Once again, I believe you were right and I was wrong. You're the adult and I'm the child. You're very smart. I'm very dumb. We got more micros. This is a micro. And we're going to talk about it today. So maybe I'm coming around to the dark side of the micros and the minis. Maybe, just maybe. I'm not going to own up to it fully yet because, you know, the whole sunk cost theory about when you're wrong in the past, you don't want to admit that you're wrong in the future. So you just kind of roll with it slowly. But over time, in a year from now, I'll be able to say, oh, I always loved micros and minis. Of course, they've been my favorite the entire time. Don't you remember? No, you don't remember. You recall that I haven't liked them. But I just got sent this kit from HardPark RC. This is the Dementor SS. And it's not released at the time that we're shooting, so I'm not sure when we're going to be able to release this. I want to make sure we don't, you know, mess anything up by doing it. So you're going to see this whenever it's appropriate for you to see this. And honestly, this has me excited for the micros. A lot of the comments that we had, and fantastic comment section, by the way, in our previous videos about this. Not only have y'all let me know different ways that you build your courses, and you know, keep at it. Legos, I got a lot of Legos, and for the size of this, honestly, yeah, I could probably build a pretty rad course for Legos. But even the small rocks, my film guy was telling me, hey, not everybody is as into it as you for a 10th scale course where you can dump 80 tons of rock in your yard and build a course. But something like this, or some Legos, or some sticks, or whatever, I get it. Okay, I'm starting to come around. I totally get why you would like these. But at the same time, they're really not very capable. And it's kind of frustrating. Okay, it's really frustrating. And then something like this comes around. I don't know if you can really see that on the package. You can go to HardPark RC and see more photos of the Dementor SS. But let's just open it up and look inside, and you will see why I'm excited. I like the box, I like the packaging. First off, purple anodized parts. The guy knows me. I don't know if he sent me purple knowing how much I like purple anodizing, but that's what he sent. So we've got our little transmission. This is this one leaned like the other one? Yeah, this one is actually leaned forwards a little bit. Is that a printed skid or is that a machine skid? So carbon fiber plates machined there. This looks like a machined skid. This is it printed? If it's printed really well. No, this has got to be machined. Yeah, I can see the fly cutter marks on it. At any rate, machined skid, little Delrin skid, Darlin. It's got a little lean to it. It's got the sporty lean to it. A lot of the stuff that we see in the comp rigs of the 10th scale size has evidently filtered down to the 24th scale. Cut carbon fiber chassis. I mean, come on. Of course I'm gonna like it. And this is like our, in the full size, or the 10th scale full size, it's got the cab that bolts on. So this is like our MOA class in 10th scale, to where you can have the carbon fiber rails and then you have a cab that bolts on top, or something that's integrated into the rails. And I don't know what the rule sets are. I'm assuming that this is made for some sort of competition rule set. I'm assuming. I mean, it's even got the rolled top of the cab so that you can maybe roll it back and forth and get it upright. I don't know. Let's see here. Here's some printed parts. This looks like an electronics tray. Skid plate here. Is that skid? No, that's a hood. The skid is on the transmission. Really good looking quality parts. The machining looks fantastic on this. The edges on this carbon fiber are very well done. It is, looks like I would assume they use either a cross cut or a burr on that, because I'm not seeing any fibers coming off the edge. So it could be really good post-processing. Either rate, very well machined. Carbon fiber is not easy. You really have to know somebody that's good at machining carbon fiber. Just sending it out to a normal machinist is not always a good bet, because most machinists are not carbon fiber specialists. As an aside, if you cut carbon fiber yourself, a little trick is to freeze your panels first. And if you can run in a really cold room, like in the winter, not everybody has, you know, a cold room they can put their machine in, your cutters will last, oh gosh, 4 times longer if you can cut below freezing point, and if you can keep everything below freezing. But short term, you can always just freeze your panels, and it helps a lot on the cut. Makes it more brittle. There's not as many like fibers on the edges. Just on the side there. All right, our wheel spacers here, or hex whatever you want to call center hubs. Oh, and wheels. Carbon fiber plate wheels. Yeah, this is literally like our 10th scale comp crawlers shrunken down. Neat. I'm probably gonna complain about the size of the screws when I put it together. And then these look like our links that we got. They got little pivot balls. These are just laser cut steel, it looks like. Maybe stainless. I would assume stainless because they're not rusting already. Yeah, this feels potentially like stainless. Yeah. Kind of interesting the way that it is. The pivot balls just kind of fit in there since it's laser cut. I would assume laser. Kind of looks like a laser. Yeah. And then it's got O-rings on the sides because your pivot ball isn't going to have any place to go on that flat piece. Your pivot balls just kind of wander around inside the hole. So rubber O-rings for both sides, and that keeps it centered. When you're working with something this small, I think that's really the only option. And now the really cool part about this. One of many, obviously. So let's see, this is mounts for the axle for the servo on the front. Got some rear link mounts. Look at these axles. Just look at it. Would you look at that? SEX24 style, I reckon. Don't these have a high pinion? These do have a high pinion. I am not sure about the compatibility of the shafts and the outers and all that kind of good stuff, because I'm just learning on this. But these are SEX24 axles, all aluminum, brass outers, tungsten weights, it looks like, even. Just amazing. Amazing. Now, I'm not sure if those weights, let's take a look. Are these weights just pressed in? I assume that there would be some sort of retainer, and I see 2 screws right there. So these weights are, oh no, it looks like they're pressed in. Yeah, so we don't need a retainer. Shrink fit, if you will. Okay, so they will slide in and out, but nice tolerances for press fit, honestly. A press fit that's not going to just slide back out. So maybe just doesn't need the retainers. We'll see. We will see long term. Really beautiful axles for such a small scale. And yeah, I'm almost flabbergasted that I have known nothing about micros, and then getting a kit like this, it's a lot nicer than I thought it would be. I didn't realize that y'all were doing this with the micros. This really brings me back to the early days of comp crawling. Just the way that all these parts are. It's obviously a comp rig. The carbon fiber combined with the machine parts. It's further than the mini market and the micro market went prior to me seeing this. I didn't know that it went that far. So hey, really cool. I am looking forward to this. So I guess I'm building a micro, something that's more competition oriented. And am I gonna actually compete? Well, evidently there's local guys that compete and run competitions. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Look at these little shocks. Look how tiny they are. We've got different choices of spring rate too. Neat. Oh, and the hardware is all so tiny. It's all so tiny. And I am so big. And it is so small. I don't know how I'm gonna manage. We'll figure it out. All right, so that's my first impression. I am super impressed. This is really cool. I am gonna just box it back up for the moment because I don't need to have one more project on the bench yet, but we will get to this fairly quickly because I have some things that I need to make sure bolt up. They're not in hand yet, but by the time they get there, I'll have this ready. Oh, look at these little shock bodies. It's got carbon fiber. It's actually carbon fiber. Oh, is that just a spacer? I think that just may be a vanity ring. Are they already filled with oil? Probably not. Yes, just a carbon fiber vanity ring over the outside. That's pretty cool. Now, I do wonder about the springs. Let me just try. I got nothing to do today. How about you? Actually, I have a whole lot to do today, so that's a total lie, but this is what I'm doing right now. Look at these little gold springs. Aha. So the question is, how do I get them on? I'm guessing, I really don't want to, can I unscrew the bottom? Oh, I can unscrew the bottom. Yeah, I don't want to do that though. I don't want to scratch the shock shaft by doing one of these numbers, but I'll look at some instructions or whatever later. But yeah, that's the right size spring for it. Goes right on when I figure out how. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna save the rest for later. That's what we'll do. Like a delicious hamburger. I'm only gonna eat half, but it has to be a McDonald's hamburger because if I'm saving it for later, well, a normal hamburger would spoil, but a McDonald's hamburger, since it's not actually real food, it will never spoil. So hopefully this is like a McDonald's hamburger. It's not gonna spoil inside this box. Maybe y'all know the story about the McDonald's hamburger and fries that got forgotten for it was like 10 years, and somebody found the bag and they opened it up. There was no mold inside. This is not real food. I wish they'd go back to frying their fries in tallow. That'd be real nice. It'll get me started on seed oils. Interesting study, just as an aside, that found out that rats who were cram-fed with seed oils and alcohol produced really bad liver cirrhosis very quickly. But the rats that they stuffed full of, was it tallow or butter? I forget. Animal fats and alcohol didn't have any liver problems at all. So maybe we shouldn't be consuming seed oils, machine oils, industrial waste, also known as canola oil. Maybe we shouldn't be ingesting it as much as we do. We could use it for shock oil though. Yeah, that would work. All right, the Dementor SS Kit. I am really impressed, from HardPark RC. All right, so I guess I'm building me a cool micro. If you got any suggestions on this, definitely leave them down below because I am out of my depth here and I'm learning as we go along. But I'm looking forward to it. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully that means you liked what you saw. If you want to help out the channel, you can like, subscribe, and definitely comment down below. We would like to hear new ideas from you, so be sure you let us know what you'd like to see. There are some other suggestions probably floating by my head right now that you can check out, and otherwise we appreciate your support and your help growing the channel.